but I can go, oh, here's something I've written before and it's been on my blog. If you're cool with that, then you can have this. So it's like a resource and a mind of its own in terms of publishing and republishing. So it's been really great.
And how's the university about all this? Being a PhD, this is a major area of your PhD. It's not the only area, but how's their reaction to this? This being blogs almost being yesterday's news. How's the university going? Seeing it as part of an academic PhD?
Mostly, I don't think they've engaged with that at all. They don't see it as publishing, and I've had lots of support with it, and universities are starting to get their head around publishing more broadly or in different areas, but the university generally hasn't, they don't pay it any mind. Having said that, I publish under my own name. I follow a strict code of ethics that I would say is driven by the university. I maintain integrity in what I do all the time, and that is very important to me. Because it could hurt my work in other ways. The uni in some ways sees it as a bit sort of, this is a bit of a weird word, but like cutting edge sort of stuff, like, oh, okay, you're doing this, oh, wow, that's amazing. And I don't see it as amazing, I see it as writing the same stuff in a different way or a different platform that contributes back and also contributes to the community. So the uni's a bit, I guess, odd about it. Most academics, if they write a blog, write research blogs, so they're much more written to an academic audience, whereas I'm writing to the surfing community, and that was really important to me. I think I've done some, I've written a paper about using blogging as a way of doing research, and everyone who's read that has gone, oh, they could use it. So that was kind of nice too, to have them think about it from my perspective. It's not just a place to put stories. These stories actually have a bigger use and a bigger function. And in terms of my research, writing this blog it's just pushed me so hard constantly.
And you must have found that your readers and possible ongoing followers come from quite a cross-section, because they must be surfers who don't traditionally follow blogs because they're physically orientated people who are loving to surf, through to perhaps readers and academic, because you've got that research or formal and full of integrity side to your writing, and it's a writer's blog. So you must have quite a cross-section of followers. And again, when you sit down and write your post, you must be thinking, I'm thinking more about the purpose in what I'm writing, not who I'm writing to.
Yeah, and I think that's really important. Like I write for the blog, not so much for the audience. And that sounds like a really odd thing to say, I suppose, but yeah, it is. You don't know who's reading it. You really don't. And you might have an idea that you might know 4 or 5 people who read it all the time, or you might know, I guess 20 or 30 people who are going to read every single post, But they're going to read every single post.
And of your followers too, there must be regular people who comment. But likewise, there would be regular people who read who wouldn't be absolutely never comment.
Oh yeah.
Therefore, again, you would not want to write with the comments too much in mind from your last post.
No. I mean, and a lot of the time you get emails rather than comments, as well, where people don't want to put it out there. So you have an idea. But I mean, that blog is its own space, and it's got its own momentum and its own life. And that's what I try and stay true to when I write. Not the way that people are going to engage with it all the time. The engagement's like the cherry on top and the really great stuff, but that space for me is a thinking space and a learning to write space and a creating a repository resource space, and that's what I keep in mind. And I really found there was a point where I completely lost my self-consciousness about the fact that you're publishing as well. But it's making friends with the neighbours. It's its own little world, and I control that little world. And I'm sure sometimes people stop reading, but you can't control that either. And I've stopped reading other blogs, and it's not because I didn't like them. It's a time factor, or you just kind of forget, or you just go, you've kind of got what you needed from that website. So things shift and change all the time. Yeah.
Well, that's fantastic. I think that's a great ending, a message of inspiration as to why and what we can get from blogging. Thank you, Rebecca Olive.
Thank you.